Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Hello and welcome to WrestleRamble. This is Luke Owen, I'm Ollie Davis, and Happy New Year, Swaff Nation. It's the first WrestleRamble of 2018. That's right, it's the future. There's space cars outside. I took a pill this morning and that's all the food I need for a week. What else is in the future with you, Luke?
Your great-great-great-granddaughter is pretty fine.
What the hell, man?
Yeah.
I know that's a busted lyric, but not cool.
Jaws 19 is currently out in theatres, directed by Max Spielberg.
And we've just been bought by Disney. So Disney now own everything.
They just own everything now. A Happy New Year to you. We talked about your New Year's festivities on the podcast before this episode. So
Bavarian Beer House.
You went to a Bavarian beer house.
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, I assume it was very good, but this is a pre-recorded episode because we're going to be really hungover.
Yeah, my plan is to be quite hungover because I'm going to be staying up until 3 a.m. playing board games because that's the kind of cool kid I am.
We like to play a game in the Bavarian Beer House called Up De Pooper,
Yeah.
which is where you've got to do like a noise and an arm movement direction, and that indicates what the next person should do a noise for. So there's ooh, and then you would go ooh, and the next part ooh, ooh, ooh. But if someone goes ah, it changes the direction, and it gets really quick, and it's very hard to do. And if you go up de poopa, it skips a person. And if you muck it up, you have to down your drink.
Oh, you have to down your drink. I mean, of course
Yes.
you do. Your awful drinking habits.
Well,
and
yeah.
forced drinking.
So
time.
what? And you just played board games?
We just sit around. We have a nice conversation, and we have some nice drinks. I will probably partake in a few ales. Maybe have a little glass of wine, a little cheeky Baileys, maybe on ice. And then we will just play.
You love Bailey.
I do love Baileys, and I love Bailey as well.
Yeah.
You're right. And we will play One Night Ultimate Werewolf until the wee hours of the morning, where we'll trundle off to bed, then get up and have some nice breakfast in the morning, and probably play a few more games of One Night Ultimate Werewolf.
So we're not here right now, but we will be. Sorry, still got this cough.
Do you know what's funny is that you have not coughed all day until we've actually come in here to record this.
Performance anxiety.
That's what it is.
Suffer from it a lot. But we will be reading the comments. Probably replying to a few maybe if we're not too antisocial with the people we're with. So yeah, tell us how your New Year's was. And we have your predictions. That's what we're doing today, first show of 2018. So we're going to run through what everyone sent in that they think, or I feel like a lot of them are trolling. They're joke ones.
No, they're not. Absolutely not. What we asked for on Twitter.
I'm going to choose one at random.
What we...
That's actually serious.
There you go. Thank you very much. Yeah,
this doesn't prove my point. Okay,
Nope.
A lot of them... No, it's still kind of serious.
Yep.
Okay.
So what we did is we asked on Twitter and Facebook for you to give your wild and wacky predictions for 2018. What we didn't want was Roman Reigns will win at WrestleMania. What we wanted was you to say, as an example, if you'd have said at 2017, on January 1st, 2017, Jinder Mahal will be WWE champion, that would have been a wild prediction.
Yes.
Because that felt like something that was never going to happen. But it did. And so what we asked is for those kind of predictions. We're going to track these throughout the year. So if any of you are correct, we will give you a shout out should you actually predict this.
That seems logistically difficult, man.
Well, they'll let us know.
Okay, yeah. Let us know when we can verify it, and then...
Exactly,
I was
yeah.
worried the onus was on us for a moment.
Oh, no, we do enough work as it is.
Do you want to... should we start off with a few of our own?
A few of our own predictions,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Do you want to kick things off?
Yes, so we've come up with 5 predictions each for 2018. I haven't actually seen yours yet.
Okay.
You've read mine.
Yep. Yeah, I've read yours.
My first one is that the Street Profits will debut on the main roster after WrestleMania, probably on the Raw or Smackdown after WrestleMania. Montez Ford will become a huge star, and the team will split up before the year is over.
Yes.
'Cause
that is specific, because like you could have just cut it off at, they debut the night after Mania, but you're really going for the WWE track record. Who's going to turn heel on who then?
Well, Dawkins will have to turn heel because Montez Ford is too much of a babyface. Mm-hmm. So Dawkins will turn heel. Montez Ford will become a huge single star off the back of it. Not like main event single star, but he'll become a very popular mid-card act.
My prediction, first one, is that 205 Live will either become something else or end.
What could that something else be?
Hopefully, the Kings of Wrestling
The Kings
show
of Wrestling
that I
show.
pitched. So I think it's got to become something that isn't weight limit based, and you just have a new division of exciting wrestling.
Is that a prediction or a hope?
It's a mixture.
Yeah,
It's a mixture.
it's a
I just think
A predict hope.
paired with the experimental touring brand and some. I'm going to do another prediction about the network later on, which I think ties into this.
Okay.
But yeah, so let's get into some of yours.
Yes.
Jer Personin, who's always in touch, thank you, we love you, Jer, writes, he's a Patreon backer as
He is
well.
indeed, yeah.
Chairman of the board.
Chairman of the board.
Chairman Jer. That's how
Very
we got
good.
that. He writes, the Hardy family and the Wyatt family will form one really weird family incorporate. Oh, no. Weird family including Rebby Hardy and Bo Dallas. I read that as Weird Family Incorporated.
That's because it's written Weird Family Inc. So yeah, I like that one. That's good.
That is good. I can't see it happening.
No, neither can I.
But if it did happen, I think all of those things, but not Bo Dallas.
Yeah. Okay. So when this Woken Hardy thing does come to fruition next year, do you think we're going to have Rebby Hardy and Senor Benjamin?
I would hope so. I just want them
Vanguard
to go
one.
really strap the rocket to how insane this gimmick can be.
I
hope.
I mean, again, we are recording this in advance. We haven't actually seen the Christmas Day episode of Raw.
They could all debut.
They could all debut then, and then this bit will be very, very
The Street
much out
Profits
of date.
might debut.
Oh God, if they do, I'll be really annoyed. Well, I won't because they're great. But I hope that whatever this Woken Hardy thing is, it's better than him talking to a goldfish.
Did you not like that?
It was so dumb.
Wow, we haven't done Raw versus that's tomorrow. That's Wednesday. So
Yeah.
we haven't talked about that yet.
I feel like I'm the Michael Cole in with this Woken Hardy stuff.
No
at the
one
moment.
wants to be the Michael Cole.
No, and least of all me. I wrote a bloody whole article about him.
Enzo had a great line. You know, what's worse than getting cold for Christmas?
Michael Cole.
Michael Cole every day, every Monday. Cameron Hall says Rusev versus Baron Corbin will main event a pay-per-view.
Ooh, not a specific pay-per-view, but they will main event a pay-per-view.
That's bold. I could definitely see this match happening. A babyface Rusev versus a heel Baron Corbin for the US title. But I can't see a main event in 2018.
I like that, it's bold. Antonio Harris says Neville will return and win the WWE Championship.
That is very bold.
That's very bold.
I mean, personally, I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah, you think it's done?
I think he's done.
Yeah, I mean, I could see
But,
it being done.
but he probably returned on the Christmas Day episode, so why would I even date it like that? Brilliant. Dan Rogers says, one last Undertaker versus Kane match.
Yeah, we had quite a few predictions. I haven't got some of them did repeat, but a lot of people were just like, Undertaker will have one last match. Undertaker will actually have a retirement, because there's people who are like very much in the belief that the Undertaker hasn't retired because it wasn't a stipulation of the match. So Roman Reigns didn't retire the Undertaker.
Yeah, I mean, the symbolism there is though. Right?
Yeah, well, absolutely.
It's a tricky one, but
That
a lot of
sexy
people,
striptease was very much retirement worthy.
a lot of people are sort of speculating that because Goldberg is the rumored first headlining entrant into the Hall of Fame for next year, that means Undertaker isn't done because everyone else thought, well, Taker's a lock. So that made me kind of go, maybe. But if he does come back, I don't think it will be against Kane. Taker's an old school guy. He'll put over a younger talent, which is why I think this year's or last year's WrestleMania 33 was his retirement match. He put over the young guy.
Absolutely. Robert Tennyson has quite an outrageous list here. So he's actually predicted...
Not all of them.
Not all of them. But at some point in the year, the champs will be... And he's listed out all of the champions. And so specifically at some point in the year, all of these people will be the champion at the same time. Universal Champion Braun Strowman, Intercontinental Champion Kenny Omega, Raw Tag Team Champions Gil Anderson, Raw Women's Asuka, the Cruiserweight Champion Ricochet, WWE Champion Rusev, United States Champion Bobby Lashley, SmackDown Tag Team Champions Owens and Zayn, and the SmackDown Women's Champion Ronda Rousey.
Well, I think maybe Robert, as much as I like all those, has accidentally mixed up Twitter for WWE 2K18.
It does feel a bit
and he
like
was doing
a
general manager mode.
Yeah, or universe mode, I think.
Is that
called
what
now.
it's called?
Yeah, got to get that branding over, brother. Yeah, it feels almost a bit like EWR would be my go-to thing for that.
Bobby Lashley's an interesting one though, because a lot of TNA stars have their very expensive contracts coming up early next year, early this year, within January and February time. And Bobby Lashley's one of the biggest money ones, which TNA reportedly want to offload.
Yeah.
And Bobby's already talked about wanting to come back to WWE for a match against Brock Lesnar. I'm a big fan of Bobby Lashley. I think when he's booked right, he's very good.
Of all the stuff that I've actually seen of Impact this year, he's been last year. He's been
going to take a while.
It's going to take a while. He's been very, very good. And he's really come into his own, because I was never that big on Lashley when he was around first time.
But it was another WWE title shout for Rusev there.
Absolutely.
However, How to Cringe, rather aptly named How to Cringe, reckons Mojo Rawley will win the WWE title in 2018.
I was listening to so, I mean, this is why we are an amazing podcast and video series.
Sure.
Is that we have had episodes every single day. We've had videos go up every single day over the festive period, despite the fact that we're not here. We're with our families and we're having a lovely old time. The chaps over at Gorilla Position recorded their last episode of the year last week in our time. So I posted it more or less on my birthday, the middle of December.
That's outrageous. Where's the graft?
Exactly, guys.
Where's the shunning of your family and friends?
Exactly. Where's the working really late?
Where's the sacrifice, man?
But one of the guys on there, he predicted that Mojo Rawley, like at the end of Clash of Champions, and AJ Styles was celebrating, Mojo would run out to the ring and lay out AJ Styles, and that will be like the start of serious Mojo's push.
That would have been pretty cool, though. Like, I'm not saying that's a bad idea.
No,
it's
no.
Yeah, but the strength of those promos that he did before Clash of Champions, it was only a pre-show match, but how many people have cut very good promos outside of the WWE system? Just filmed it on his phone, really, for Twitter and WWE.com, have not had that translate because WWE wasn't really interested in them getting over organically.
Absolutely, yeah. For the record, we love GP. Joe's Demon Shell has written, it's one for you, really. WWE makes a 6-man tag team division, reunites 3MB, and they win the title.
Yeah, see, that's why I think this is a trolling one. I want a trios title. I think that would be a nice way to differentiate the divisions on the brands. Raw has a tag division, SmackDown has a trios division, but 3MB would be a great addition. Although I feel like it's weird because I don't feel like 3MB would be the worst thing for Jinder.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't want Drew to go in there.
Well, it's funny. I was actually just thinking then, 3MB would really damage Jinder. As if, because I'm now put Jinder on some sort of pedestal, whereas 3MB would be terrible for his career.
I've got Drew above Jinder.
Drew's well above Jinder, absolutely. Jared Conitzer.
We struggled with his name in the worst.
We certainly did, yeah. Conitzer, very sorry, has said Sammy wins Money in the Bank, the WWE Championship, and then Kevin turns on him, replaying their NXT feud.
I think Sammy is a great early shout for the Money in the Bank, the men's Money in the Bank, of course.
Of course.
I think that's a really, really good choice. In terms of WWE Championship, I can't see him winning that. But if he wins the Money in the Bank, I'll have to. I think it's unfortunate if Owens would turn on him, just because we've seen that so many times. And besides, for 2018, I kind of want to see Zayn and Owens as a tag team really get a nice run. But a tag team with the briefcase could be really good. But then again, just if Owens slowly becomes jealous of the briefcase and he's waiting there to pounce when Sammy cashes it in, maybe Owens costs Sammy the briefcase. I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself. What do you think?
Would you have 2 years in a row, though, of someone failing to cash in the men's Money in the Bank briefcase? Does that then devalue the Money in the Bank?
Not if they go for 4 briefcases. I don't think it matters.
I suppose, yeah.
You've got Raw, SmackDown, because Money in the Bank will be dual branded this year.
Yeah.
Raw, SmackDown, men and women's one. So you got 4 potentially.
And there's even reports that there may even be a tag team one as well.
What?
Yeah.
Every match will be a ladder match.
Yeah, it's like a TNA Lockdown where every match is in a cage, even if you have another gimmick, like they did a blindfold match.
What do you think of this anyway?
Yeah, I could see Sammy as a very good early shout for Money in the Bank. Yeah, but I don't see Sammy at the moment as WWE champion. But I think that's more down to WWE's booking rather than Sammy himself. But I would love to see, my dream for 2018 is that Sammy and Kevin remain a unit for all of 2018.
I feel like Sammy's WWE Championship run has to be him as a babyface.
Yeah.
Like
That's
him as a heel isn't champion level caliber, but him as an underdog babyface winning it and somehow holding on month after month. That's a great story.
Yeah.
Subham Sagar writes what I think is another trolling one.
This one I would guess is a trolling one.
Apologies if it isn't, and we don't want to do you down too much. If you actually,
but this is very out there.
Enzo Amore wins the Royal Rumble and defeats AJ Styles at WrestleMania to become the new WWE champion.
I mean, I like Enzo, but I don't like your chances with that one. Van L of Krypton says Cena puts over AJ and Nakamura in a triple threat match at WrestleMania.
I think this is a really interesting one. I feel like Paul Hollywood when I say I think this is a really interesting one. What you've done here with the cakes. That's a good one because AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura WrestleMania, like everyone wants that to be a singles match, and everyone expects it to be a singles match. But John Cena doesn't really have a WrestleMania role at the moment, does he?
Smojo.
I guess so.
That's what I'd like to see. I
really wouldn't mind Cena in that as a triple threat. I think that because like that brings up AJ and Nakamura to such a huge level. Cena could even take the pin for Nakamura to win the belt, meaning AJ doesn't have to lose. Cena goes off to make another 5 movies, and Cena's not hurt, but AJ and Shinsuke are just meteoric then after that. I think that's a very good idea, and I wouldn't feel gutted that AJ and Nakamura wouldn't get a singles match at Mania because they could do that at SummerSlam. Maybe.
Yeah, I like that as well. The Living Nightmare, presumably following his shock victory at Clash of Champions. I found that Dolph Ziggler winning the United States Championship at Clash of Champions has all of a sudden brought all these Dolph Ziggler fans out of the woodwork. Everyone's like, oh, he deserves it. I'm so glad he's getting a push. Where were they like 4 months ago when he was doing nothing, being like, where's Dolph?
Yeah.
Like, there was no shout of where's Dolph. As soon as he's one thing, there's so many Dolph predictions in this now. But Living Nightmare has predicted that Dolph Ziggler will win the Royal Rumble.
Well, they say it's going to be a Smackdown star.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
This is a really good one.
Yeah.
From Connor. Edge becomes the Smackdown general manager.
I love this one. I think this is absolutely great because Edge really, he was such a Smackdown guy when he was on top back in the day. I love that as a potential. It's like a replacement for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, because if Daniel Bryan does leave or if he becomes a wrestler again, the Shane and Daniel Bryan tension's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, Edge would be a great shout.
Yeah, I like that one.
Really good. And he can sort of... Mick Foley struggled to operate within today's WWE authority figure role thing. Bryan's very good at it, so it's not impossible. You can succeed in that role. I feel like Edge is more of the Bryan mould.
I think so as well, yeah. And Prince of Shadows has predicted that Kurt Hawkins will get a win on TV.
Well, if they built it up, that could be really fun.
Well, I thought they were going to start doing this as a bit of a storyline of him doing his defeated streak. I'd like that. I think that'd be a great moment as well when he gets his first win.
Tom Salsa writes very optimistically, WWE partners with New Japan Pro Wrestling like WCW did back in the day. And WWF did it as well. It was like a 3-way super show. Super show. Yeah.
I don't see this one happening. I think that New Japan are currently, because they're doing so well for themselves at the moment, they don't really need to partner with WWE for anything.
I suppose this is all with the Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, Wrestle Kingdom thing.
Yeah.
People are... God, this is going up on January 1st.
It's only 3 days away.
3 days away from Wrestle Kingdom.
Wow.
We should watch that in the studio.
We should do.
Because we'll have our fancy internet by then.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
we
And
can,
it's on, what time will it be on UK time, though?
Well, like in the day, I think. It'll
Yeah.
probably start around 7 a.m. So super early, breakfast cereal.
Yeah, let's get some
this.
breakfast cereal in.
Yeah, I can't see WWE partnering with New Japan.
No, and I don't think I'm going to see this one happen in 2018 either, from Miguel Ortiz, who says CM Punk joins ROH and by proxy the Bullet Club. Do you think we're going to get a CM Punk return in 2018? Possibly for the ROH 10,000, well, the Bullet Club 10,000 show?
That's the only place I can see it in. I don't think he'll go back to WWE at this time, but I can see him with Brian. If Brian leaves, or if Brian doesn't leave and the Bullet Club find themselves in a lurch, he's quite close with the Young Bucks apparently, and they're just like, come on, mate. Go on, do this to stick WWE.
I was going to say, do it to stick it to WWE, especially if you've got Brian on the card as well. That was going to be one of my predictions, that the main event of that match will be CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan. And if it's not that, then, I mean, the only way you're going to be able to draw those numbers is if it's Daniel Bryan versus Cody Rhodes.
But I don't even, that's more Daniel Bryan's name.
Yeah.
Should we do a few of ours?
Yes, absolutely.
Mark our place.
Mark where
Let's
we
go
are.
back down.
So my next one is that after WrestleMania, when they do the Superstar Shake-Up, Universal Champion Roman Reigns will be drafted to SmackDown Live, and WWE Champion Shinsuke Nakamura is drafted to Raw. Again, specific.
Yeah, I can't see Vince getting rid of Roman like that. I know it's not getting rid of him, but I guess he did it with Cena back in the day.
Did it with Batista as well. Like, Batista was their guy, and after he won the World Heavyweight Championship, they moved Cena over to Raw, I suppose because they really liked Cena, and moved Dave over to SmackDown. So I think it'd be a really interesting dynamic as well, and I almost picture it as well as like Roman's in the ring with his Universal Championship, Nakamura's music hits, and they come down and they make the announcement that a trade has been made, and that Roman Reigns has taken his time off to SmackDown.
I like it. It would definitely freshen things up.
And it would probably help SmackDown Live's numbers as well.
That's a good point. Well, or would it? Like, is Reigns actually a draw?
I suppose we'd find out, wouldn't we? What have you got?
I've got Brock Lesnar will re-sign to WWE to even fewer dates.
Ooh.
So, of course, there's the talk that he'd go back to UFC. Apparently, he re-entered USADA's testing pool over the summer, and that's a prerequisite to starting to compete again in the UFC. And there's also some rumours and speculation that he'll go and do a few acting jobs in Hollywood, with Sylvester Stallone teasing him for Creed 2 as Ivan Drago's son, which would be great. That
would be great.
So
because he doesn't need to talk.
But I think he's too old, and there's he got done for drugs last time, and there's been a lot of steroid abuse in the UFC in 2017. So I don't think he'll go back. I don't think he's got it in him after that last return, and he failed drug tests then. And the movie stuff he can still fit around here and there. I don't think it's going to be loads. It's just going to be the occasional silent henchman role. So yeah, just have a few WWE dates. So maybe he leaves after Mania, and comes back for Survivor Series.
I was going to say, as an addendum to my my prediction of Nakamura going to Raw, my SummerSlam main event is Nakamura Lesnar for the WWE Championship.
Wow. That's a sexy one. Do you want to do one more?
Let's do one more.
Let's do your craziest one.
This is my craziest one, but I think we are nearing this time. So I think that Goldust / Dustin Runnels gets one last run in the WWE, and he's gunning for the WWE Championship, and he finally retires in 2018. I've actually written 2017, but 2018. Now, it does seem crazy for the WWE Championship, but what I'm thinking is, do you remember when Miz was champion and he was in that feud with Jerry Lawler? Because it was just like, we just need kind of this stopgap feud before like Cena comes back so we can do the Cena feud. I'm thinking you do it something like there, when you're in a bit of a quiet period where you're like between like SummerSlam and Survivor Series, or WrestleMania and SummerSlam, and you just have this month-long storyline where you just build it up to a B-show pay-per-view where Goldie's going for the WWE Championship with his career on the line.
Doesn't even have to be a pay-per-view, I suppose. It could be a big episode of Raw.
Yeah.
And I guess R-Truth is champion at that point.
Yes, obviously, yeah.
Together.
Yeah, totally.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well,
I think it'll be for the Intercontinental title at most.
I did write down IC title originally, but then I thought of like Lawler and Miz, and I was like, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go out there with it.
Well, I've said Bryan will leave to wrestle at Bullet Club shows.
All right.
So that's I don't think WWE are going to clear him. I just think there's too much political stuff about concussions and just the risk of it happening, which I totally understand. And you've got to feel for WWE. Like, after all the horrible unprotected chair shots of the last, however many decades, WWE are now actually being upstanding. They give superb medical treatment to all their performers, so you can't argue that at all. It's frustrating, but you've got to see where they're coming from.
Absolutely.
But Bryan, he knows his own body, so you could totally see it from his side as well. And if all the tests keep coming back positive, he's going to go and do it. So back to yours, that being you, the viewer/listener. Alex Hunt says Vince McMahon has a one-off appearance at Royal Rumble 2018 and eliminates Kevin Owens.
Gets his revenge. Vince McMahon enters the Rumble. Definitely.
That's good though.
Yeah.
That's a bit of poetic justice.
Yeah. I could definitely see it being Shane, but not Vince.
Why not? Too old.
Yeah, too old. I almost I think if anything, it's got to be Shane, because Shane's got to be the star. So I could see Shane entering himself into the Royal Rumble as a surprise entrance.
Well, I think
not with the intention to win, but just to make sure that Kevin and Sami don't win.
The problem with this is Kevin Owens. Essentially, you're sort of making someone look bad, Kevin Owens, to the benefit of someone who's never going to wrestle a match again, and that's Vince McMahon. So you're putting like an 80-year-old guy over a 30-year-old guy. But I think this moment would be okay. I think this is a really good idea. I don't see it happening though.
Yeah.
Taylor says NXT participates in next year's Survivor Series.
I wonder in what capacity.
You could have a team WWE versus team NXT.
I'd like that. That would be cool. Yeah, absolutely. And that'd be one thing. So NXT's ratings when they were on the USA Network weren't like brilliant. They weren't certainly nowhere in the ballpark of like Raw and Smackdown,
no.
Which kind of suggests that NXT fandom really is in this bubble. But I was having a chat with someone on Twitter about this, and we both sort of made the point that, what sort of numbers did you expect it to do? They did it with zero advertising on both Raw and SmackDown. They never mentioned NXT, what NXT is, just video packages for NXT. Here's what's coming up on NXT if you watch it. So, yeah, no one's going to watch it, and it wasn't like a primetime slot. But if you do start doing these things for NXT, where you start to push them a little bit more on the main roster, here's why you should be watching this show. It's on the WWE Network. It's only on the WWE Network if you subscribe for $9.99. You actually generate a bit of buzz that when it comes to WWE renegotiating their contract with USA, they can throw it in as part of the package deal to try and get more money.
Yeah, I just that as well. I think it's because this year 2017 Survivor Series had a really good Invasion, Raw and SmackDown storyline. And this year I can see them, Kurt or whoever the general managers are, sitting down saying, last year, different regimes, we don't want that to happen again, so we're just going to have a normal Survivor Series. You keep to your brand, we'll keep to our brand. Everything's fine. And then at the end of one of the shows, NXT runs in and beats up everyone.
Aleister Black just comes in and gives Seth Rollins the Black Mass.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't done it already. Maybe this is the year, because it's such a big, obvious, untapped idea that it could happen. Well,
and you would be very much correct if it does happen, Taylor. Kevin Chappell, thank you very much for letting us know how that's pronounced, because I call him Chappelle in one of the videos, but it's Chappell. AJ Styles will be WWE champion for all of 2018. So going against my prediction that Nakamura will be champion after WrestleMania, AJ Styles will be champion for all of 2018. Your thoughts, Oliver Davis?
I don't think so.
No?
I would like it, but I also... It's weird. Actually, you know what? AJ Styles isn't a very good chasing babyface, is he? He's a good babyface champion.
I think he's good as a chasing babyface.
No,
but
you
didn't really
got into...
Well, you didn't really give him a chance because he just won the title.
Jindy, yeah.
So we haven't really seen him in that role.
He was a heel before.
He was a heel before, exactly. So, having said that, when he first joined and he was a babyface, his stuff with Roman Reigns when he was the chasing babyface was really great.
But he was shades of grey there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
William Palenick writes Kenny Omega as number 30 in the Royal Rumble. Proviso, it's a one-off only, so he hasn't signed with WWE.
Yeah. I can't see the Omega joining WWE. Even if I kind of had this like dream scenario where you were going to have the match at Wrestle Kingdom, then Jericho would be a surprise entrant in the Rumble. Kenny would come through the crowd and eliminate him because Chris Jericho won at Wrestle Kingdom, and then that builds to the rematch of Wrestle Kingdom at WrestleMania.
That's amazing.
For the IWGP United States Championship. The first time, well, it might not be the first time, but when...
Well, it's newly created.
But a non-WWE title is defended at WrestleMania.
God, that's such a good story. It would be so cool, but I don't see WWE doing it, unfortunately. Plus I don't know, this doesn't really affect this one, but Kenny Omega's New Japan contract expires on the 31st of January. The Royal Rumble's on the 28th. So it would have to be a one-off agreed New Japan WWE deal. But, the way New Japan have been talking as of late, I don't see them really entertaining offers from WWE. Mark Cuban, who's sort of the Access TV guys, they're going to run more shows. They're going to do live dates, apparently. Yeah, so...
And the other thing is, the other side of that as well, is they can't really do Jericho at the Rumble and WrestleMania because he's playing with Fozzy on those dates, so he can't be at the show anyway.
Ooh, big one here.
Adam, I actually don't know how to pronounce his surname.
He's our social media manager.
He certainly is.
Adam James Boulevant.
Boulevant.
I think. I've never had to say his last name.
Boulevant.
I always call him Adam. He's got a different referee name. He's a referee.
And I just called him Adam. Or hello, mate.
Adam. Yeah.
Adam says, Bray Wyatt gets released.
Wow.
I
mean, if it wouldn't, it's like it's sad that it wouldn't surprise me.
No, exactly. It really wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
because it really does feel like WWE have lost all faith in Bray, and they don't really care about what he does now. He's in that Finn Balor role, where you're on TV, but you're not really doing anything. You're in feuds, but they don't really matter. So, yeah, I could almost see it happening. Or he gets sent back to NXT.
That's another one. Maybe SmackDown. They treated him good on SmackDown. This is where this all went wrong for Bray, getting traded to Raw. Vince McMahon likes the macabre, though, doesn't he?
He does like the fantastique.
Yeah, so maybe it'll always have a place from that.
Simo Ramo Rantanen, I'm going to say Rantanen, says The Undertaker start on SmackDown as SmackDown GM as the American Badass version of his character.
That would be really good television, I think.
I think it would be awful.
Really?
I in hindsight, American Badass Undertaker was not cool.
He was awesome.
He wasn't.
I loved him.
I mean, at the time, 2000 Luke Owen loves the American Badass Undertaker. 32-year-old Luke Owen, looking back on 2000 American Badass Undertaker, was like, oh, the Attitude Era podcast described him perfectly, where he said he looks like a UFO enthusiast.
I like him, man. I'm not going to give in to this hate.
He's just there, just chewing tobacco. Just looks like, he just looks rubbish.
No, I think it would be great television, but I don't think it's going to happen, and I almost don't want it to happen. Because Undertaker has rode off into the sunset. To do anything else after this point now would sort of undermine that send-off.
And actually, fun enough, we just said this. Craig Thomas, Americo beats Jericho at Wrestle Kingdom, and they have a rematch at WrestleMania.
Kelly Cordill writes AJ Styles becomes the unified WWE Universal Champion after winning the Royal Rumble and then beating Lesnar at Mania.
Lot to unpack there.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't.
As awesome as that would be, though, but, then you've got one champion over two brands, which is workable, but the plan's for Roman, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Jacob Simmons says John Cena will retire as a 17-time world champion. There were those talks of that Cena would get his 17th world championship win in 2018 to beat Ric Flair's fictional record. But do we think he's going to hang up the jorts for all time?
Well, he told you.
He told me.
He's not going to, unless the day he's done with WWE is the day WWE say, no, we don't want you anymore.
And I can't see that happening.
And Triple H is 48. People wrestle into their fit right up to the end of their 40s.
Well, and
I think it's the same for Cena.
Even now, when you're a bit like the lifestyle is much healthier now, you might there's John Cena is a very, very fit man. He could be wrestling well up into his into his Ric Flair years.
Well, I think he's got another decade at least in WWE.
I hope that if he does wrestle up into his Ric Flair years, he sticks with the same gimmick. And he's still
the jean shorts.
Still acts like with the jorts and with the t-shirt and doing like the salutes and stuff with the same music as well.
Same dick jokes.
Exactly.
Tyler Matheson writes, Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble.
So a couple of people are going with Sami for the Rumble. I can't see Sami winning the Rumble.
But Sami versus AJ for at WrestleMania, that's a hell of a match. But I really, really want it to be Nakamura. I did. After that Money in the Bank stare down,
That's
it all comes back to that.
And I also feel as well, while a lot of people are kind of really pushing for Sami here, perhaps this is just me, but I think that WWE see Owens as the star of that duo and not Sami.
Completely.
Sami is the...
And they don't think that much of Owens either.
No.
You're going to say Marty Jannetty.
I was going to say the Marty Jannetty. Thank you very much. He's the Marty Jannetty of the group. Brady Tyler Thring says Randy Orton ties John Cena and Ric Flair in world title reigns. That means he has to win and lose. Well, he has to win the belt 3 times this year.
Yeah, I can't see that happening. He could just hop between brands. Maybe he becomes a free agent.
Yeah, free agent Randy Orton.
Winning belts.
Just take more stars away from SmackDown. That's what that show needs.
Don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Justin Miles says Batista returns at the Royal Rumble, and then we get the dream match of Batista versus AJ. I was kind of with you at the start, but I don't think I've ever heard anyone describe Batista versus AJ Styles as a dream match.
No, it's hardly like Punk Bryan at the Ring of Honor, the Bullet Club 10,000 show. It doesn't scream dream match to me, Batista versus AJ. But you know, Batista has been talking, like he's had talks with WWE about coming back this year, and he wants to do it as a big thing. He wants to do the house show tours. He wants to be on TV. He wants to go into a big storyline. However, he has said that he wants to be in a storyline with Triple H. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Citra Prima Putra says Finn Balor drafted to SmackDown Live around the time that AJ versus Nakamura finishes, but therefore becoming the next challenger for the title that Nakamura holds. So then you've got
those 3 guys on
the same roster, as like that sort of like a triple threat feud for the WWE Championship. I mean, Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
That's magic.
That's
magic. A great combination of talent.
And again, it kind of shows that WWE have got this great roster of talent. And you say those 3 guys, you're like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But you think about where 2 of those guys currently are in the WWE universe. Nakamura's doing Nout, and Finn Balor is feuding with comedy jobbers.
Oh, he put over Hideo Itami. He's like a unit.
Yeah, I suppose. Should we do our final 2?
Let's save our final 2 for the end.
We're
nearly at the
end.
We're near
the end. Okay, fair enough.
So Zach O writes, Brock Lesnar goes back to UFC, wins the heavyweight title. While he has it, Vince makes a storyline of Roman Reigns as WWE champion versus Brock as UFC champion. I'm adding to this now. This is Oli. So you think that Roman Reigns is going to win the UFC heavyweight championship?
They'll book it as like champ v champ, but that's never going to happen because Dana White would never put his champion in that position.
No.
Because that's a real sport.
I think Brock Lesnar going back to the UFC, that's where the believability ends. I don't think he's got it in him to win the heavyweight title now.
No.
He's 40. That's very old for an MMA fighter.
And again with
that level.
Again with the Dolph Love, burn it down, says Dolph Ziggler becomes WWE Universal / WWE champion. So you're hedging your bets there about which one he's going to be, which I think is playing fast and loose with our rules.
That ship has sailed.
Ship has well sailed.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And Ken Shabell says the introduction of the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, although he's written titles, won by Sasha and Bayley on Raw and Charlotte and Becky on SmackDown. So the 4 horsewomen lead this charge of the tag team division. I really hope, unless you bring up 10 more female wrestlers to both brands, that you don't do the tag team titles, because there just aren't enough girls on there for anything to really to mean anything. Because you're just kind of putting them into feuds for the sake of putting them into feuds to fight over fake belts that really have no worth.
And you're adding 2 belts to a promotion that already has a lot of belts. If you had Raw and SmackDown as one sort of brand, and where everyone gets to fight across all of it, the women's tag titles would be a great idea.
Absolutely. But then you wouldn't have had Absolution and the Riot Squad.
Yes, well, yeah, a good idea. And finally, from the fan suggestions, Our friend Kip Clips.
Hey, Kip.
He's a YouTuber. Says WWE will buy Impact and do an Ultimate X match. Quickly followed by the first ever women's Ultimate X match.
Making history.
Ultimate X. I don't see Vince McMahon. He's only just done War Games. He's not going to do Ultimate X.
And even then, it was the WWE version of War Games.
So let's do your final two here.
So my final two. Asuka defends the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam against the undefeated Ronda Rousey. It's the undefeated streaks colliding in a SummerSlam main event.
And who would go over in that scenario? I like that very much, by the way.
Yeah. Do you know what? I mean, I was thinking about this, and I was like, maybe like Rousey's the first person to beat Asuka. They're like, how do you protect Asuka? By having a schmoz with the other 4 horsewomen, and then it becomes this like, oh, these UFC lasses ruined our WWE thing. This was really special to us, and it makes Rousey then a really big, like, mega heel on Raw with her 4 horsewomen buddies around her.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. My fourth prediction is WWE Network will have non-wrestling programming on it.
Wow. So, like, for example, they've been talking about bringing back the XFL and putting that on the network. So are you thinking that sort of realm of things?
I think XFL. I think maybe some just generic non-wrestling focused comedy, like a sitcom, like The Office or something. Not reruns of other stuff, but newly commissioned shows. I think... Well, actually, no, it should probably stay as sports programming. And WWE will try and make itself an ESPN, the WWE
That's
network.
Interesting. I like that. So, like, actually reporting on baseball and football and things like that.
Or having their own shows like that. Maybe trying to get some rights to some other leagues.
Yeah, but with the wrestlers, the WWE wrestlers as, like, the panel.
No.
Oh, so you think they get baseball experts in
Baseball experts, completely separate, nothing wrestling about it. But if they want the crossover, I just think that the WWE Network has its ceiling, and it's 1.67 million. And it's not going to really drastically go beyond that now, because that's your worldwide WWE audience who like WWE enough to pay for the subscription service. The way to get more people, I think they're realising with the XFL, if they're going to bring that back, which seems to be the plan, is to get other sports and things that isn't wrestling, so people buy the network for that.
I really like that. And the other way I could see that working as well, and it's only just come to me now, and I'm not sure why maybe they have thought about this, maybe there's some like contractual reasons why they don't do this, but why they don't have WWE films on the network. Because they own them, so they don't have to pay any extra for them, so they can just put those things on the network. And from that, then you can start commissioning people to come in and be like, hey, it's like being commissioned by Netflix. Yeah. We start doing like series and we start doing films and stuff, and we branch out WWE films, because then we don't have to worry about DVD sales and how you can still release them as DVD, but you can also have them on the network as well.
Documentaries, it's like WWE will cease to be a wrestling, like you won't think it's like what was the BP, right? BP used to be British Petroleum, but then they just made it BP so they could, or General Electric, and it owns everything now. It's got loads of different bits. I think that's what WWE is going to become over the next 5 years. WWE will be a channel, like a USA network, where you can watch many different things. Oh, and on that show, I can watch Raw. I can not WWE Raw. I can watch Raw. I can watch Smackdown. I can watch NXT. I can watch this football show. I can watch this golf thing.
I can watch this film.
Yeah. Your last one.
My last one is Johnny Gargano finally captures the NXT Championship, specifically at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4.
So that's their big SummerSlam weekend one.
Yeah, and in my mind, it's against Almas, because they had their match at Brooklyn 3. I think that'd be a nice year later. One of them is champion, the other one is contender.
And then Ciampa returns and
messes it all up.
Owens and Sami Zayn.
Exactly.
They can never let them have their moments. So I've saved my biggest one for the end.
The network wasn't the biggest one. Interesting. What we got?
Vince McMahon will sell WWE.
Wow. Pray. I mean, whoa. I mean,
I feel like I've just dropped a massive piece of news on you.
His mind exploded.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What on earth could you possibly mean?
So, of course, there's all this stuff about the XFL has opened up a can of worms of plans that seems to have been in operation for a few months, or at least talks about it. And that is, Vince is going to set up a company called Alpha Entertainment to explore investment opportunities, I'm trying to remember the quote, in sports and entertainment elsewhere. I think this ties in with the WWE Network prediction I had just now. And Meltzer said that Vince would never, ever sell WWE back in the day. That was never his thought process. But then the UFC went for $4 billion a couple of years ago. And apparently that made Vince's mind change. Like, wow, if I could get anything close to $4 billion, then I would actually sell WWE. And the way that Disney are moving around at the moment and just buying up huge intellectual property organizations, either Disney are going to make a play, or you're going to have another company that's kind of Disney's rival that needs intellectual property itself, and they're going to make a play. Warner Brothers, yeah. And that's when Vince goes like, I've got this new venture to sort of see me off. I'm 80 years old. There we go. Or 70, whatever he is. Yeah. I think he'll sell WWE.
Oh, that's a bombshell to end this show on.
Might not be this year, but I think by 2020, both my last two big business ones, I think will happen.
Well, I mean, if they happen this year, then absolutely kudos to you.
What do I get if we predict good
I suppose
stuff?
we haven't actually really decided if there's a prize or anything. Maybe I don't know.
By the end of the year,
bragging
we'll see what happens.
What we can do is we can say that WWE watched this video and stole our ideas.
Yes, there we go.
That's the way it works.
Well, that's all we've got time for our first episode of 2018.
Do you know, one of these shows that goes over this festive period is our 100th episode of the WrestleRamble.
Ah. Do you know which one?
No, but I think we've done 96 to date, including Monday's one. So let's think. So
we're not going to be here, are we?
No, well, we won't. We've already recorded it. So Wednesday's episode will be 97. The Patreon exclusive one will be Friday. So that's 97. So Friday, Saturday. Then we've got our best and worst. It might be this one.
No way.
I think it's this one. I think this might be our 100th episode.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
Well, we'll just celebrate that on Wednesday. With Raw versus Smackdown, we'll see you then. But for now, click the videos here to catch up with the latest WrestleTalk videos. Support this podcast, support this channel, I should say. Subscribe to the podcast by clicking the subscribe button, supporting on Patreon, and ordering some sexy t-shirts, and order the WrestleTalk magazine. Murdering this outro now. Kicking off 2018 with a start. This has been Luke Owen, Ollie Davis, and that was Rambling.